Hello students, welcome to another session of the subject Computer Concepts and C Programming. In the previous session, we learnt about the various types of operators. We also came to know how these different types of operators are categorized. If there is only one operand, we mean that it is a unary operator. If there are two operands, we mean that it is binary operator. If there are three operands, we mean that it is ternary operator. And we listed all the different types of operators that are supported in C programming language. Today we shall take up one by one and study all these operators. So let us begin with the assignment operator. So students, assignment operator, the symbol we use is the is equal to. The assignment operator is used to assign RHS to a LHS, which means that if you want to assign a value to a variable, you can use assignment operator. So it is used to assign value to variable. Okay, example, suppose there is a variable called A and I want to assign a value 10, I can use a assignment operator. I can also use it as a expression. So suppose sum is equal to A plus B. So this is the purpose of assignment operator. Now we will take up the next operator, that is the arithmetic operator. So students, arithmetic operator is used to perform arithmetic operations. What are the arithmetic operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also you have one more operator over here which is called as the modulus operator, represented by the percentage symbol, which is used to get the remainder of the division operations. So arithmetic operator is used to perform arithmetic operations. What are the symbols? The symbols are plus, minus, star, forward slash and percentage operator. Plus is used for addition. Minus symbol is used for subtraction. Star symbol is used for multiplication. Slash, which is called as forward slash, is used for division. Percentage is used for modulus, which is to get the remainder in the case of division operations. So I can just give you simple example: A plus B, A minus B, A star B, A divided by B, and example A percentage B. So these are the operators in the arithmetic section. Now we will look into the next operator, that is nothing but the relational operators. I have discussed already about these operators in the previous session, so I will not go in depth all these things because it has been discussed with suitable examples. Now we will take up the relational operators. what is the purpose of relational operators? Suppose you want to compare two operands. You want to compare, as in you want to check which operand is greater, which operand is lesser, whether the operand are equal or not equal to. Such kind of comparisons you have to use the relational operators. So what is the purpose? Used to compare operands. So what are the symbols? Here we are going to use the symbol less than, greater than, less than, and together with equal to, which is called as less than and equal to, greater than or equal to check whether two operands are same or similar, we use double equal to, and for not equal to, exclamatory symbol followed by the equal to symbol. So these are the symbol. I will give you some example. A less than B. A greater than B. A less than or equal to B. A greater than or equal to B. A equal to B. A not equal to B. Now keep this in mind. Always the result of the relational operator will be a Boolean value. So make a note, result of relation operation will be Boolean. What does it mean? It has only true or false. True meaning 1, false meaning 0. Suppose you give the value of A as 5 and B as 7. Now substitute the value 5 less than B, that is 7. Yes, it's true. So the result of this expression will be 1. Next, A greater than B. No, it's not true. The result will be 0. A less than or equal to B. Of course it is less than. We'll get a true. A greater than or equal to B. No. So we will get a result false. Is 5 equal to 7? Not at all. So we will get a value 0. Is A not equal to B? 5 not equal to 7? Yes, it is true. So we will get the result 1. So this is the usage of relational operators. Next, we will take up the logical operators. So students, logical operators are used to perform logical operations. What are the logical operations? Logical operations are nothing but logical and, logical or, logical not. So for this we use the symbols for and, double ampersand symbol, for or, pipe symbol, and for not, exclamatory symbol. So these are the symbols we use to represent AND operation, OR operations, or the NOT operations. So what is the purpose of logical operands? To perform logical operations. Now, to understand the working of logical operators, we need to construct the truth table. Let us begin with the AND truth table. You have already studied in digital electronics class about the truth table for and, or and not. I'll take values as A, B, A and B. So I'll take the input, two input 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Always the result of the logical AND will be high if all the inputs are high. So if you observe all these rows or all these inputs, both the input are high only in the last row. So as per the rule, it will produce high output only when all the inputs are high. So else it will produce a zero or low output. So what does it mean? Logical operators also gives you the output as a Boolean value, either true or false, that is 1 or 0. Similarly, I will extend this truth table for OR. The OR rule says that the result will be high if any one of the input is high. So in this case, except the first row, all the rest of the rows contains at least one high input. So I have to mark 1 for all the rows below the first row. So this is the output of OR. Similarly, the last operator, that is not of A. Not of A works like a inversion. Inversion in the sense, if it is a high, it will be converted to low. If it is a low, it will be converted to high. So in this case, A is 0. Inversion of A will become opposite of 0 is 1. In this case also 1. In this case 1. So inversion will give the result 0. In this case also the result will give the value 0. This is all about the logical operators. I hope you have understood. Next, we shall take the shorthand operators. Students, you don't need to worry too much about shorthand operators because they are only used to represent the expression in the shorter form. That's it. So you are going to use shorthand operators only to represent the expression in a shorter form. So used to represent expression in short form. What does it mean? Suppose I say A is equal to A plus 10. Instead of writing like this, I can also say A plus is equal to 10, which is same as the full form of this expression. So the shorthand representation is this. So we have the symbols for this. Plus is equal to, minus is equal to, star is equal to, slash is equal to. So like this we have different types of symbols to represent expression in a shorter form. Next we'll take a property increment and decrement operator, which is very important for you to learn, which we are going to use frequently in almost all our programs. The increment and decrement operators are used to either increase or decrease the value of the variable by 1. So it is used to increase or decrease, whichever operator you are using, the value of variable by 1. What does it mean? Suppose I take a variable A and assign it to 5. So if I want to increment by 1, I have to write the statement as A is equal to A plus 1. If I want to decrement, I have to say A is equal to A minus 1. If I want to represent this in again a short form, I can use the symbols A plus plus or A minus minus, which means that you have short form representation to perform these operations. So the symbols for increment is plus plus, for decrement it is minus minus. In increment and decrement operators there are two categories. So what are those? The two categories are called as post increment or the pre increment. There are two types. One is post increment, another is post increment or decrement. Similarly, pre increment or decrement. So in the case of post and pre increments, you are going to use the same symbol, but the symbol varies with respect to the either prefixing or postfixing with the operands. For post incrementation, you have to use operand and then operator. For post increment, first you are going to write the operand and then operator. For pre increment, first comes the operand and then comes the operand. For post decrement, A minus minus. Pre decrement, minus minus A. So this is the analogy of using increment and decrement operators in case of post and pre. Now we will see what is the difference between these post and pre operations. Let's take an example. I will take a variable A and assign it to a value 5, and I will take one more variable X. Okay, and I will not assign any value to it. Okay, what I will do is I will take the memory representation also to make you understand how exactly this works before increment and after increment. So this is A and this is X. A is initialized to 5, X is nothing. Suppose I say X is equal to A plus plus. What type of operation we are performing? We are performing a post increment. So that is, we need to increment the value A plus plus in the post form. What does post form means? When this kind of situation arises, always first the value of A will be assigned to X and then it will be either incremented or decremented depending on the operator used. So in this case, what is the value of A? A value is 5. That will be first assigned to X. So now X value will be 5 and then perform the operation A is equal to A plus 1. So which means A is equal to 5 plus 1, that is 6. The value of A will now become 6. Did you understand? Now we will see what does the pre-increment works. This is example for post. Now we will take pre-increment. X is equal to plus plus A. In this case, it is a pre-increment. Pre andre munchene madadu anta. So in this case, first increment the value of A and then assign it to X. What does it mean now? First A value, we will take the same example. A value is 5. First what we need to do? Increment the value of A. A is equal to A plus 1, that is 5 plus 1 is 6. And then the value will be assigned to the LHS, that is 6. Now you got the difference between pre-increment and post-increment. same is applicable for decrement. Did you understand? So it's very easy to follow. If you are using post increment in case of assignment operation, first assignment will occur and then either increment or decrement will happen. In case of expression having an assignment operator and the increment and decrement operator, in this case pre-increment, the value will be first incremented because we are using pre, and then the incremented value will be assigned to x. This is the working of pre-increment and post-increment. Now we will see the next operator, that is the conditional operator. In the previous session, I mentioned that conditional operator is the only operator that contains 3 operands, which means it is a ternary operator. Okay, so it contains 3 operands. What is the symbol used? The symbol used is the question mark. What is the syntax? The syntax for using ternary operator is, here you will have one expression, question mark, expression 2, colon, expression 3, and then semicolon. So this expression 1 is the first operand, this expression 2 is the second operand, this expression 3 is the third operand. That's why 3 operands we are using. Understood? Now, how exactly this works? It is used for two-way decision making. It is used for two-way decision making. I'll explain to you how exactly this two-way decision making works. See, first operand 1 will be evaluated. Okay? If the result of this operand 1 is true, means expression true will be evaluated. If it is true, expression 2 or operand 2 will be evaluated and then it will exit. Suppose the result of expression 1 results in a false, Boolean value false. So if it is false, then expression 3 will be evaluated and then it will exit. This is the working of ternary operator. So once again I will tell you, first expression 1 will be evaluated. If it is true, expression 2 will be evaluated. If it is false, expression 3 will be evaluated. I will take one simple example to make you understand how exactly this works. Suppose we want to compare or we want to check greatest of two numbers. We already discussed one simple algorithm on this. What is the algorithm? If A greater than B, then greater is equal to A, else greater is equal to or greatest is equal to B. So why is it called as two-way decision making? Because there are two decisions over here, either true or false, whatever you consider. This is decision 1 and decision 2. So this decision 1 or decision 2, either of this will be executed based on the result of this expression. So which means that if it is true, then this part will be executed. If it is false, this part will be executed. The same expression or the same logic we can represent using ternary operator in this fashion. A greater than B, question mark, greater or great is equal to A, colon, great is equal to B. Suppose we give value A as 5 and B as 7. Now substitute the value 5 and 7. What is the result of this expression? Is 5 greater than 7? No, not at all. So the result will be false. Boolean value false. So if the Boolean value false, which one will be executed? Expression 2 or expression 3? As per the explanation, it will be executed as expression 3. So that is the value grade will be 7. Correct? So the the largest among these two is 7. We got the result. This is the working of the conditional operator. I hope you have understood the concepts. Now we shall take the last set of operators, that is bitwise operators. So students, what does this bitwise operators means? So these operators are entirely different than what we discussed earlier. How it is different? Because all these operators which belongs to bitwise operator works with respect to bit level. So it works with respect to bit level, which means we can perform bit level arithmetic with respect to bitwise operators. Till now we were working with the numbers which are not the binary digits, whereas bitwise operator will work with binary numbers. So bit level means binary numbers. In bitwise operators we have logical operators and shift operators. Logical operators are used to perform logical operations. What are the logical operations? Just now we discussed in the case of logical operators in the regular operators. So what are the logical operators? Logical and, or, XOR or complement. Similarly, shift operators are used to shift the bits to either left or right side. There are two categories of shift operators. One is called as left shift, another is called as right shift. So left shift, we are using the symbol double less than. Right shift, we are using the symbol double greater than. Similarly, for logical AND, we are going to use the symbol single ampersand. For OR, we are going to use pipe symbol for OR and a cap symbol for XOR, and for complement we are using a, so this is for the complement. The tilde operator, which is called as tilde operator, is used for representing complement. Now we will see how the working of all these operators one by one. Now we will see the working of logical operators, that is bitwise logical operators. For that we will construct the same truth table what we constructed for the logical operators, the regular logical operators. So we have A, we have B, A and B, A or B, and then we have A cap B, that is XOR, zero zero 0 1 1 0 1 1. If the AND operation states that the result of the operation will be high when all the inputs are high. In this case, only the last row will have a high output, rest of the rows will have a low output. In this case, at least one input should be having high input. So 1 1 1 and 0. And XOR logic says that the result will be high if odd number of high inputs are present. So in this case there is no high symbol. Here in this case we have one high input, so that is nothing but 0 and 1, so which is odd in nature. We will have one output. Here also we have one input which is high, so here we have two inputs which are high, so we will have a 0. So this is the working of bitwise logical operators. So negation is quite simple. If we are using negation of A and A value is 1, the output will be 0. 1's complement will be implemented. Now we will see the shift operators. In shift, I told you there are two types. Left shift, which the symbol is this, and the syntax for usage is like this: operand, left shift, and number of digits. This number of digits indicate how many shifting you want to perform on the operand, either on the left side or the right side. We'll take one example. A left shift 2. Okay, we'll take A as 5. We cannot use 5 as it is because it works in bit level. Bit level is nothing but binary, so we need to convert into binary. So what is the binary form of 5? 0 1 0 1. That is 8421 format. Okay, so 0 1 0 1 or 0 1 0 1. So what does this mean? It means that you want to shift to the left side. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಎರಡು ಸತಿ ಶಿಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಪುಟ್ one shifting ಗೆ 1 0, ಎರಡು ಶಿಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಗೆ 2 0. ಇದನ್ನ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿ 1 0 1. Okay, now convert it to decimal. So 16 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. 8 4 2 1. So 16 plus 4, the result is 20. Okay, we'll take one more example now. The value of A we are considering is 5, that is 1 0 1. A left shift 1. How many times we need to shift now? Only once. 0 1 0 1. We need to shift left side. How many times? Only one time. So one time means only 1 0 you have to introduce in the beginning, and move this to the left. 1 0 1 0. Okay, so now compute decimal form. 8 4 2 1. So what is the value? You got the value 10. So if you say 5 one time, you are getting the value 10. If you say 5 two times, you got the value 20. So left shift operator is used to multiply the operand by 2 stable. So 5 one time means 5 2 stable. 5 2s are 10. You got the value 5 two times means 5 2 into 2, that is 4. 2 times 20. So left shift is used for multiplication of the operand by 2 stable. This is the working of the left shift operator. Now we'll see the right shift operator, which is exactly same as this, but we are shifting the bits on the right hand side. The symbol which is used for right shift is double greater than. So syntax is operand double greater than number of digits. As I told you, the number of digits indicate how many shifting you want to perform on this operands in bit level, either right side or left side, depending on the operator you are using. We'll take example, the same one, A right shift 1. Okay, so what is the value of A? As we took in the earlier example, A is equal to 5. 0, 1, 0, 1. Shift it one time. Okay? And the right shift andre right side move it. So right side move adaga one time andaga first digit ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So move the rest of the things. 0, 1, 0, 0. Once again, look at how we got this. When we are doing right shift one time, the first bit will go on the right side. Right side il enu illa, so it will just move. We have to discard this one, and then whatever one ene irbodu il input, we have to discard this and just move the rest of the bits. Andre one idanna biಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. So ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ 8421 ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. That is decimal form. What is the value you got? Answer is 2. Okay? Now we'll take one more example. A right shift 2. That is 0, 1, 0, 1. Right shifted 2 times. Andre ee kadege 2 times. So this is one time, this is second time. Remove this. What you have? 0, 1. So make 1 here, 0, and fill the rest with zeros. So again bring it to decimal form. 8421. So what is the value you got? 1 as answer. Here you got 2 as answer. How does this work? See, whenever you are using right shift operator, look at the answer carefully. 5 divided by 2, 2 ones are 2 twos are 4, and some decimal point you will get over here. So what is the result you got? One time division, you got the quotient, that is nothing but 2. 2 times division, 5, 2 into 2, which is nothing but 1 times. So answer you got 1. So whenever you are doing right shift operator, it means that you are dividing the operand by 2. This is the working of left shift and right shift operator. So students, I hope that this class was very informative, because we covered almost all the operators, and it was a lengthy duration session because I wanted to cover all the operators in this session. Don't worry about the programs and all. First we'll try to understand the fundamentals, how exactly these things work. Then we'll go with the programs. If you are strong with fundamentals, working with the programs will become very, very easy. So in this session we learned about all the different types of operators that are supported in C programming language, beginning from assignment operator till the bitwise operator we have covered. And once again briefly I will explain. Assignment operator is used to as in the form of assignment of LHS to RHS. The symbol we use is the is equal to. Whereas arithmetic operators are used to perform arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Also we learnt one more operation, that is nothing but modulus operation, in which we get the remainder of the division. Andre divide ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 5 divided by 2 ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 1 ಅನ್ನೋದು ರಿಮೈಂಡರ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ we will go with the modulus operator in the arithmetic operators. Next we saw the relational operators. Relational operators are used to compare operands. When we want to compare operands, the result will be in the Boolean form, either true or false. In this case we have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to or equal to. These are the different symbols. After relational operators, we learnt about the logical operators. Logical operators are used to perform logical operations such as logical and, logical or, logical not. So other truth table ನಾವು discuss ಮಾಡಾಯಿತು. Next we saw shorthand operators. In logical operators ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈ ತರ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. ಈಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದನ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದನ್ ಸಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ನೇಚರ್. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ರಿಲೇಷನಲ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್. When we want to do such kind of operations, we can use the logical operators. So this is one of the usage of logical operators. Shorthand operators, now I told you don't bother much about it. It is nothing but used to represent the expression in a shorter form, that's it. Then we saw the most important, that is increment and decrement operator, which is used to either increment or decrement the operand by 1. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಲೂಪಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ದಸ್ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಫಾರ್ ಲೂಪ್. Then we saw the conditional operator, which is nothing but an example for ternary operator, which contains 3 operands, and we saw how it helps us to implement two-way decision making in a simplest form by using question mark operator. And then we looked into the bitwise operators. ಸೊ ಬಿಟ್ವೈಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿನೇ ನೋಡಾಯ್ತು. ಬಿಟ್ವೈಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಬೈನರಿ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಬಿಟ್ವೈಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್. ನಾವು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ಬೈನರಿ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಸಪೋಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಮೇಜಸ್, ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಮೇಜಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಮೇಜ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇದರ್ 0s or 1 in case of binary images. ಅವಾಗ you want to perform any operations on the signals or images, you can use bitwise operators. ಆಮೇಲೆ bitwise operators ಇನ್ನೂ ಬೇರೆ ಯೂಸೇಜ್ ಇದೆ, we will discuss as we proceed further. ಸೊ bitwise operators ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 2 ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾವುದದು? ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್. ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್, ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾರ್, ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್. ವೆರಾಸ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ? ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ತರ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೈಟ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್. ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ is used to move the bits on the left side number of times specified, whereas right shift is used to move the bits on the right side number of times specified in the expression. So this is the working of different types of operators, and students, you need to learn all these operators perfectly because 100% examination question idella. Okay, in the next session we will learn about operator precedence as well as associativity. Okay, thank you.